Thanks for being here. Welcome to the last Friday of August. Can't quite believe it. September next week. What a great summer we've had in the UK anyway. Lots of sunshine. If that's what you like, then that's great. Sadly, these things come to an end. Everything changes. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Changing season, checking in, and changing gear, essentially. So just give everyone time to come in. You're going to need pen and paper today if you haven't got one already. If you don't, you can always come back to the recording, go through it again later, but we're going to be doing some writing. We're going to be looking at our values. We're going to have a little, as I say, a bit of a check-in. Good. So before we dive in, just check in with yourself. Feet on the floor, breathing into your heart. Bring your attention to the top of your head and scan down through your body. Notice how you're feeling right now. Good. Noticing any tension, any heaviness. Just notice how you've been feeling up to this point today. Leave anything at the door. You can pick it up later or leave it put down. Good. And if there's a colour or an energy that would help you right now, just name it, bring it in. Good. Lovely. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes, come back to the room. Good. And that's just a lovely thing to do at any point during the day. When you're boiling the kettle for a cup of tea, just pause, bring your attention to the top of your head, scan down through your body. Just ask yourself, how are you doing? How are you? Something you need right now. Just check in as if you are your own friend. Chase Hughes, amazing body language guy, incredibly knowledgeable about human behavior. He talks about being your own butler. So how can you make life easier for your future self? What can you do now so that when you arrive there later on, it's all set up for you? Like if you're leaving for a trip tomorrow, all your bags are packed, your clothes are ready, you can get up in the morning and just have an easy flow. And that means you're setting up good things for your future self. So in the future you gets there, there's an appreciation for the past self. So you're in this constant state of being appreciative of the things that you've done for yourself and having gratitude for what you did in the past. So what can you do right now to help your future self? What will my future self thank me for? And then receiving that thanks when you get there. It's just an extra idea to add in. It's not what we're focusing on today, but it just came to me. Seemed relevant. So, as I say, it is end of August, end of summer. It feels like autumn is almost here. There's a change in the air. I don't know if you've noticed that. That's how it feels here. There's a sort of that sense of energy change. But September next week, schools are going to go back. The roads get busier in the mornings. All the school traffic comes in. There's all those kids starting new season, whether you have children or not. There's that kind of new term season, new time. Like I always love that new stationery, new school uniform, everything a little bit too big and starchy, and we kind of have this new page feeling. It's always like, oh, turn over a new leaf. What's new? What's going to be coming? But before we get to that, we want to make sure we've cleared everything that's been building up over the summer. We had the solar eclipse a couple of weeks ago. We've got a lunar eclipse today, and it's just kind of whatever that means to you as well. It's a kind of a what's been coming up in that time, maybe an ending of something, maybe a clearing. Whether it's to do with that or not, just check in for a moment and look back over the last month, over the summer. Take a moment and notice what happens to your body when you think about that. Is there any tension that arises? Is there anything you want to let go of as you move into the new season? What comes to mind? Make a note of that. Relationships can change, jobs can change, financial situations can change, the way you feel about things can change. If there's something that's not working, something you feel tension about, then you can make that change. Good. So with that in mind, what is it I would like to change? What am I changing gear on? And sometimes it's not changing what it is, it's changing how you're reacting. Maybe it's slowing down something, maybe it's speeding up. Only you know what you need for your next step. And always it's checking into the emotion and how you feel. What do you need? What's your body telling you right now? Good. So what we are going to do today, we're going to look at our values. So it's something you might have done in the past, you might have done it a few times, finding out what your core values are, the things that drive you, the things that are most important to you. Because when you're living by your values and you're aware of them, then it coincides with your boundaries. So if something or someone is living outside of your core values, it will understand, it may help you to understand why things aren't gelling or flowing in the way that you want them to. So it's a very simple thing to do. First of all, we're going to choose the area of your life. You might want to do your whole life, but you might want to choose an area of your life that you want to focus on for this exercise. It could be your career, your business, health, relationships, money, contribution, your environment. Just take a moment to think, what area of my life would I like to improve, and just write that down. I'm going to choose health. What comes to mind when you think about that area of your life? What would you like to be different? What is it right now? What are the problems in that right now? Does it feel stuck? Does it feel out of control? Does it make you nervous? Just get a broad picture of what is happening there. And notice what that feels like in your body. Maybe there's a tension that comes up in your shoulders or your chest. Your body gives you everything you need. So now you've noticed that feeling, maybe you feel out of control or a bit lost. What do you want instead? If you feel out of control, maybe you want to feel calm, centered. Maybe you want clarity. Just bring in, it's usually the opposite. If you feel nervous, you want to feel confident. Good. So now you have an area of your life that you want to work on. You have the issue, and you have what you want instead. So you've got this broad strokes of what you're aiming for. Good. So I'm going to read out a list of core values, and I'd like you to choose the ones that feel right for you, the 3 that feel more important to you, and they may or may not be in this list. As I'm reading through them, you can find them. If any other ones come to mind, just make a note. But this is what really, basically, what's the most important thing to you, what drives you. And that drive is underneath your decisions, as I say, your boundaries, your relationships, your friendships. So let's go and just see what comes up for you. Freedom. Connection. Just make a note of the ones that feel good. You can always whittle them down. Creativity. Security. Adventure. Family. Friendships. Integrity. Growth. Peace. Achievement. Health. Joy. Authenticity. Service. Abundance. Love. Fun. Independence. Contribution. Spirituality. Belonging. Courage. Wisdom. Balance. Recognition. And then any other values not listed here, you can just make a note of them, see whatever else comes to mind. You close your eyes, go into your body, just ask yourself, what are my values? And see what else comes up. And again, this is an exercise you can come back to at any time. And this is why we choose an area of your life, because you might have certain values around your business, That may or may not be the same as how you are in your relationships. So some of those things will overlap, some of them won't. We have values around everything. Good. So you can come back to this and really dive into, get into the detail of what is valuable to me. That's what values are. What is valuable to me? What do I place my value on? Good. So however many you've chosen, choose the top 3. The ones that feel non-negotiable. The ones that really are who you are. There's no wrong or right answer. Just take your time and notice what comes up. This is what I like about having this half-hour slot, because we can't do too much detail. It's a little bit surface and it's a little bit like, but it's fast because you can just come in, go through what you need to do, get the answers. It's just let it come. Good. And now choose one of those values. Maybe it's freedom. And ask yourself, when do I feel freedom? When do you most feel freedom in your life? What are you doing that elicits that feeling of freedom? Maybe you're out walking in the morning, or you're cycling somewhere, or you feel that when you're traveling, or when you're working with somebody. Where do you feel freedom? Where do you feel that first value? What does it feel like in your body? So for example, if it's freedom, and you're driving in a sports car through the countryside, what does that feel like in your body? Maybe it feels expansive, connected, generous. Just notice all the words connected to that and the feeling of it in your body. Do you feel it all over in one particular area? Does it have a colour, a texture? Good. So when you get a good sense of that feeling in your body, now notice what drains it, what takes away that freedom. What am I doing that is the opposite freedom? Maybe particular conversations that I have, particular people at work, certain foods that I eat, particular roads I drive down. Where does the opposite happen? Where do you lose that value? So in relationships, where do I let the other person win? I was going to say win. Where do I compromise where I could find resolution, for example? And if integrity is a really important value for you, then where am I not in integrity? Who or what will take me out of that? You might close your eyes for a moment and I'll go silent just for a moment or two, where you can really dive into that feeling. Where do I not uphold my values? Good. You might have a memory or a situation come to mind. And notice what that feels like. When you're in this situation and you don't uphold your value, what happens to your body? There may be a sort of a weakness that comes in, or a draining, or a heaviness, a sadness. Just notice that. Good. Again, you can find colour, texture, memories, thoughts, beliefs. Really important. What are the words that come with this? Oh. And you might find phrases that you always say, like, oh, I always do this, or they always do that, or this isn't my fault because. You just catch what the beliefs and the thoughts and the words that go with this draining feeling. Good. Good. And just thank your body for all this information that's coming up. Write down everything and anything you notice. Lovely. And now find a situation where you have upheld that value. A moment when you really knew that you were right, or you were holding your boundary for yourself, or you were saying no to something you really didn't want to do, or you were saying yes to something you did want to do that's in line with this value. Again, this is pretty broad because whoever's watching can get your own interpretation, but you're basically whatever comes to you. What improves and upholds my value? Where am I upholding my value within this area of my life? So if it's your health, for example, when I eat cake, I don't feel good. When I have a green smoothie, I do feel good. You know, it can be that kind of what works, what doesn't. And what's interesting about that is that sometimes if we're in a really good environment, say if you're having, I'm using cake as an example, sugar, with in an environment that's supportive, that's kind, that's loving, that's communing with people, you're having birthday cake, you're celebrating, that might feel really good. That might be a situation in which that's upholding your values of connection, community. If you're doing that in a place of, I don't feel good and I'm having this to try and make myself feel better, I shouldn't have it, it's going to have a detrimental effect on you. So the scenario is specific, is different. The context, how you feel about it is really important. Which is why we can do different things in different places with different people. You know, we have different energy around different people. Some days we can handle coffee, sometimes we can't. Whatever that means to you. Some days I feel good and bounce out of bed. Some days I want to stay in bed and have a duvet day. And it's really recognizing what's the most important thing. What does that look and sound like? Feel like for me? Where am I upholding it? Where am I letting it go? Good. So there's things that improve and uphold your value. Just notice what that feels like. Holding that boundary in your body. Just come to a picture in your mind where you have done that, as I said, where you've said no when you needed to, or yes when you needed to, or you enjoyed something, or something worked out in the way that you wanted to. See, feel, hear this colour, this sensation, this boundary. Good. And we're going to tap that in. Hands over your heart. So as always, I'm going to go general, but you can be specific. So if I say this area of my life, you can add in health, career, money, whatever it is. Nice, easy breath. Good. Tune into your body. Repeating after me. I know my values. I uphold my values. I respect my boundaries. I choose wisely for me. I make good decisions. And I'm always doing my best. Good, and keeping one hand over your heart. Start tapping on top of the head with the other hand. Keep your eyes closed if that feels more comfortable. I do what's right for me. Beginning of the eyebrow. I uphold my values. Side of the eye. I have good boundaries. Under the eye. I enjoy recognizing my values. Under the nose. I value my values. On the chin. I know what I need. Collarbone. I know what I want. Under the arm. I know what's good for me. On the thumb. I can do what's right for me. First finger. And other people can do what's right for them. Middle finger. And those things can be the same or different. Ring finger. The more I value myself. Little finger. And do what's right for me. Side of the hand. From a place of choice. The head. The better it is for us all. Good. Beginning of the eyebrow. I uphold my values. Side of the eye. I know what I like. Under the eye. I know what I don't like. Under the nose. My values are important to me. On the chin. I can tune into them whenever I need to. Collarbone. And make decisions from that place. Under the arm. I live my life in choice. On the thumb are the values that I choose. First finger, I do what feels good. Middle finger, I trust myself. Ring finger, I trust my instincts. Little finger, I trust the process. Side of the hand, I get to know myself more and more each day. Top of the head, so just focus on the value, maybe one, maybe all three that you want to tap in. And I'm just going to say my core values as we're tapping through. And again, you can apply yours to you. Okay. I welcome my core values. I uphold my core values. Side of the eye, my core values are important to me. Under the eye, my core values are an expression of me. Under the nose, my core values drive me. On the chin, I know what I want. Collarbone, I know what I'm aiming for. Under the arm, I enjoy upholding my core values. On the thumb, I empower myself with my values. First finger, I have integrity for myself. Middle finger, and I uphold my core values. Ring finger, I trust the process. Little finger, it feels good to feel good. Side of the hand, I choose my core values and I live by them. Wonderful. Bring your hand over your heart and just sit for a moment and notice what that feels like. And again, do a body scan. Notice what's the same, what's different. Notice any other thoughts that come up. And just ask yourself, what do I need to change in order to uphold my values, if anything? Or what do I need to do more of? What do I need to do less of? So just allow those questions, the answers to bubble up. What do I need more of? What do I need less of? Sometimes that might be something that you know and you've been putting it off. Sometimes that's a new idea. Notice your response to the response. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh God, do I have to? Like, is that really it? If you have that kind of reaction, maybe question the step. Is that really what I want? Is that really in line with my goals? Am I in resistance? Or do I need to do something else first? Do I need to break it down? Just kind of notice that response. If you get a really positive, I always think if it's not a yes, then it's a no for some reason. If you're doing a driving test and you feel nervous about it, but you know you need to pass in order to drive, you know you've got to do it. That's, you've got to push through that. You've got to find a way. You've got to change it. You're just going to feel nervous. That's fine. It's the difference between that kind of nerves or this is the wrong thing. That's the discernment. So if the thing on the other side of the thing that you don't want to do is what you want, you just got to get over that hurdle. Look at what's holding you back. Good. And all the techniques I'm teaching in the lunchtime and Jemima sessions will help you to get through those. If you don't know how to get through something, you don't know if you're on the right track, you don't know what your values are, you feel lost, then you need to book in a call with me. We can just chat about it. I can point you in the right direction. As you become live, you get the worksheet. I'll be sending that through, which goes into a bit more detail, ask you a bit more questions, and something you can go through in a bit more depth. But yeah, once you are aware of your boundaries, essentially your values and your boundaries, you will see where you're letting other people kind of take over, where you're loosening the value in yourself. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's a choice. Oh, I don't really like going there, but I want to see them, so I'll go there. So again, you're at choice rather than it's happening to you or you don't have any say in what's happening. So I would recommend that you observe yourself in different scenarios, different situations. Watch how you are with different people. And am I upholding my values? Am I compromising? Am I letting go? Am I at choice? Everything is a communication. Everything is useful feedback for yourself. So there we go. We're nearly at time already. Flies by. So hopefully that's a really helpful. I haven't asked anyone to share. If you'd like to share what any of your values that you've noticed or any scenarios, you can message in the group or you in the box, or you can email me directly. I'd love to hear what came up for you, if this was helpful, what you might want to look more into. Tell me. Love to hear from you. Yeah, so as we come to an end, just check in. Yet again, close your eyes, take a breath, scan through your body. Choose one of those values to really carry through with you for the rest of the day. And just notice, if this is something you've done before, has that reinforced a value you already knew, or has it shown something new, a different direction, something else you want to focus on? What is the most important thing for you? Because I personally feel a shift this year in, maybe not in the value itself, but the importance of it. And I wonder how that is for you. Feel stronger for the rest of the day ahead now. Lovely. The value was balance. Really lovely. And I feel the scales are balanced now for today. That's lovely. So you want to carry that with you. What a great place to be. Calm, steady, balanced. Good. Enjoy that. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend. The recording will be available soon. Thanks so much for coming live and for anyone watching the recording, and I'll see you next month. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.